Coming up next on Rugby Wrap-Up, Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis talking Major League Rugby. Rugby Wrap-Up brought to you in part by Irish Rugby Tours, the Rugby Tours people. A balanced palate, nutrition for peak performance. AFIA Sports Training Group, and Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street, the world's best rugby pub. Hey everybody, Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis at the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street in New York City. And Steven, we're talking Major League Rugby here at our satellite studio and our second home.
Our second home indeed.
Right?
Yeah.
We've talked a little rugby in this place before.
We have.
All right, so Steve, Major League Rugby. We're coming up on week 4. Briefly looking back on week 3. You had not a good showing by the teams from Texas.
Yeah, so Austin, have tumbled to their 3rd defeat now out of 3. So I mentioned before, at the beginning of the season I had my doubts about them, and it's kind of been borne out. So they've lost 3 in a row. This one against Toronto, 23-19 was the score. It was a late try by the Canadians to put them over the top, but for Austin, it's heartbreak again. The problem is they got Glendale coming in, and Glendale are also 0-2 this week. So Austin at Glendale, I think Austin's struggles will continue, unfortunately.
They needed to win these matches at home out of the gate because the schedule doesn't shine fondly upon them later on in the year. You had some struggles, some heartbreak losses, but the match against Toronto very easily could have been gone their way if the penalty against Rob Brower was called.
Yeah, you could say that, but that's one incident out of a lot.
Well, that could have been a red card.
Yeah, again, I don't think you can go to one incident. Look, they've got their problems. They've been in position to win games, and they've lost those games. So after a while, that takes a little bit of a toll on confidence, players' confidence. So you need to get back on the horse. I said this last week, I think, but they need to get back on the horse. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bucking bronco this weekend with a Glendale who are similarly a little under pressure, having gone 0-2 unexpectedly.
Yeah, I would not want to face that Glendale team right now if I'm Austin. So on the Toronto side of the ball, aside from the penalty or the non-call or whatever, the kicking is suspect, but the kicking for Austin is really poor. But at least Toronto, after a bye week, was able to come back and get an important win on the road in dramatic fashion. And the guy that was on the camera with us last week, Dan Moore, was named the captain and the man of the match.
Yeah, and he scored the pivotal try right at the end. Long break from him, chip over the top, charge down a kick, and beat the defender to the touchdown. So a great individual effort by the skipper. So he did well. That's a good win for them. They've got the cavalry coming back. They've got 5 or 6 players coming back from the Canadian squad. Not sure what mental state they'll be in. Probably happy to get back to Toronto. But the Arrows are that's a historic first win for them.
That was huge for Toronto. And then you go to the other Texas teams, the Sabercats, and they lost in San Diego.
They did indeed. Again, another late score. We talked about the impressive Joe Peterson. Made a break up the left flank and put in a scoring pass to Nate Ausberger, who was making his return from injury. So that was great to see. Nate looking sharp, came on later in the game and scored a winning try. So San Diego pulled one out. Again, Houston spilled a close one. Yeah, Nate had a great match off the bench. Came in, made an impact right away. But if you're Houston right now, at least you have the one win, right? So you're not in the same boat that Austin's in. But you have some problems. You have some issues. Yeah, I mean, I think this is, we Groundhog Day, right? We talked about this last week. The Texas team is going to struggle. Houston, to my mind, have more talent, so I think they will claw their way back because they got some good players. But both those teams are in a little bit of a hole, even though we're coming up to a quarter of the way through the season. All right, and then you've got NOLA, the undefeated NOLA Gold. NOLA. I just, you know what, Steve? It gets me going like that. Yeah. Bad neck and all. Yep. NOLA Gold, beating the Seawolves. Yeah, 3rd win in a row. You could call it an entertaining game. I suppose it was an entertaining game, 41-31. A little loose in parts. But what it showed was... A little sloppy. Yeah, what it showed was 3 out of 3. They're for real. They've ground out some wins. They also have significant players coming back. Bailey from Canada, who actually was one of the few bright spots for Canada. Cam Dolan, obviously. They had Scott Gale was injured, I believe. He didn't play.
Concussion.
So Fuchs played.
Yep.
So great result for them. 3-0. They're on a bit of a roll. They've got Rooney coming down there this weekend, so that's going to be yet another test. But if you look at it, New Orleans have played 3 or 4 of the strongest teams in the league, and they're sitting top of the league. So kudos to them.
Pivotal match for Rooney. Rugby United New York, coming off their bye week. This is a big test because you've got the team at the top of the table, 3-0. If you want to win, on paper, and you're the one that actually, to your credit, you said that NOLA was going to be better than the rest of us thought, right? But I had this as a must-win match for Rooney.
It's the second game of the season.
For them, but it'll be the 4th game of the season
so it's
for
not a
NOLA.
must-win for Rooney.
Well, you've got the point system. It's a road game.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
All right.
Estimation.
All right.
Yeah,
Can't believe you're disagreeing with me here.
Yeah, they were 1-0. It's their second game. It's a 16-game season. I wouldn't put it down as a must-win.
All right. Okay. I think it's a must-win for Rooney. There you have it.
All right.
Let's go with predictions.
Let's agree to differ.
Let's start with Rooney NOLA.
I'm actually going to go with NOLA. Just because they're on a roll, confidence, bit of cohesion. I think Rooney have the talent, and I think later in the season I would go the other way probably. But right now, with Rooney not having played and training in the cold, and NOLA on a bit of a high, I'm going to go with NOLA.
This is a tough one for me to pick. I've got my orange and blue underwear on, but I think I'm going to go.
God forbid.
I'm going to go with NOLA. Because of the big guns they're getting back and the fact that they're...
So you're agreeing with me?
I am. All right. Let's go to the next one.
San Diego, Utah.
Another tough one to pick.
Nah, San Diego. Legion.
All right. I think Utah is better than people think. But I am going to agree with you and go with San Diego.
This is getting a little predictable.
I know. Let's go to the last one.
And then final one, we're going to agree again. I got a feeling Glendale coming in to the Lone Star State, and I think they will leave the Lone Star State with a victory.
By 15 points. That's an angry Glendale Raptors team coming in there. That's so again.
So having gone 3-0 together last week.
Yeah. Anybody else do that? No, we were the only two that did that. Yeah.
And then so let's. I think we'll be 3-0 again this week.
All right. I agree with you. Then I agree with you on that too. And on that note, why fix something that ain't broke? Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis at the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street in New York's Wet.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And on that note, Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis at the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street in New York City, signing off.